This is the Meme Cat, and you are watching an anime news roundup. Today is September 14th, 2020, and here are some news stories that are going to hit home with you if you're an anime fan. So, let's take a look at this story about Tokyo landmarks. Now, you might think, how is this directly relevant to the anime industry? And maybe it's not, but this is a landmark that you have seen in anime so many times, I promise you. So, actually, in this coverage, we learn that we're bidding bittersweet farewells to two buildings, the Sega Akihabara Building 2 arcade and the Tsukumo Akihabara Ekamai PC parts shop. So that's an Akihabara. And I actually got the chance to go to Akihabara in 2016, and I'm happy about that because I saw these, but I was never in the Shinjuku area where the Unicavision building is, and that's the building we're about to lose now. You can see it here. You can see it here in this video clip, and this might help you recognize it a little bit more because it's also next to that game building that you've probably seen a lot. Here we've got Hatsune Miku standing out, hanging out with us. And just to show you an example of it in anime, I have this video article pulled up from Tokyo.com, and it's got a little comparison to Your Name here. Awesome movie, fantastic job, and art is as beautiful as ever. This could basically be a photo. But we're not here to talk about Your Name. So, what's sad about it is not only has this been a part of things for so long, but as it talks about here, it's got this really nice gathering area where fans can come and just watch it. It's not where, there's so much traffic that you can't stop and take a look because there's so many cars going by. Like, this is really something that was enjoyed as a landmark itself. And as it mentions here, was on the corner of a very busy street, so you could hear it a little bit more. I'm not seeing much here about what's going to happen to it, but whatever. Oh, I was also at Weathering with You, which is not surprising. So I guess that's the store itself. Who's closing? I don't know, but I am sad that I never got to see this exactly like this before it doesn't exist anymore. Be sure to look out for it. You are going to see it in a lot of anime. I'm sure that you'll notice it pop up. Let's go ahead and click on the Akihabara one really quick. This was back in August, but it is kind of sad to see this building as well. Yeah, I definitely saw this building. And this building is around since October of 2003. And we're losing that one too. So that sucks. That's depressing, man. Like these were really cool landmark buildings for foreigners and for, I mean, people in general who love anime there, as sure as I'm sure the places themselves are great for actual residents of Japan. Whew, all right, we go from the vaguely architectural, depressing news to some more spicy, controversial news, and this gets under the recent story about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is currently under scrutiny over an actor's discriminated audition. So this is in comicbook.com, and we're talking specifically about the role of Narnica. Actor Casey Mangalo told a fan they weren't allowed to audition for JoJo Part 5 because they are LGBTQ. The actor was asked to clarify their comment, and Mangalo shared the following about their unheard audition for Narnica. And if I'm butchering this, I'm sorry. I don't actually watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Come for me in the chat. I'm ready for it. I'm sorry. I wanted to audition, but the casting director didn't let me since she didn't believe an LGBT actor could sound non LGBT. I've discussed this with her since, though. Hopefully things will share in the future. So here we can see this tweet. She's got that nice little blue check mark next to her name. Actually, I hope I'm gendering her correctly there. I'm seeing they, so maybe I'll stick with they pronouns. But anyway, so it keeps going. I need to reiterate that I've discussed this with the casting director since. While it does hurt to not have been able to audition for the show and others because of my orientation, it also hurts to see people throw hate around towards the director. Nothing gets solved with hatred. So then we've got a co-star, Sean Shiplock, who came forward and said, I can't begin to describe the awkwardness of coming into this knowledge, knowing that I voiced big roles in this and other productions. I'm actually very curious what the comments would be on this article, but I'm not seeing anything. It feels like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is constantly full of drama. I have another video on my channel that I can link down below about when someone who worked on JoJo said they weren't paid. Like, I don't know. It just feels like there's constantly drama coming out of that show. And I don't know if it's because the show itself is so dramatic. I really hope this wasn't true. Obviously, it sounds like we aren't getting an actual quote from the casting director, at least as of now. The story did just break yesterday. I hope it's not true. And it sounds like even if it is, that the casting director has come a long way, or at least is changing their mind. And it's also nice to see that's what this voice actor is doing. They are really focusing, just on making a positive experience, not just kind of milking it for internet clout or anything along those lines. I'm trying to be very careful talking about this issue because I'm not a part of this marginalized group. I don't want to assume anything about their intentions about tweeting this at all. It seems to be very good faith. There you go. We'll see if the casting director responds or if we get any more commentary from other people on the team. All right, our final story today is what I consider to be the most fun and humorous one, and that's Back to Japan Today, covering how Hatsune Miku is a corona countermeasure spokesperson. So we showed Hatsune Miku on that Japanese landmark that we are losing back in the first story. And it goes without saying that there is not many other huge animated known figures from Japan that is such a wide ranging reach as Hatsune Miku, because Hatsune Miku isn't even an anime thing, right? So it's really just a whole unique experience, if you will, of its own. So, starting on September 9th, Hatsune Miku assumed her new position as coronavirus countermeasure supporter in the Office for Novel Coronavirus Disease Control of the Japanese government's Cabinet Secretariat. So, what do we got here? We've got this infographic covering how to cough. I guess this is what they were doing this before, right? And this isn't exciting. We got some like generic children, some sort of angry lurking germ things. I don't blame them for being like, nah, we gotta really ramp this on up. Do not blame them for that. I like how it's covering her as if she was a real singer, because it says the singer of hits such as Melt and Sinbon Zakura will serve as a supporter until March 31st, 2021. Her exact duties are still in planning stages, but are expected to include social media campaigns and video PSAs. So I guess, aside from her widespread popularity, Hatsune Miku's appointment was partly due to the efforts of her developers at Krypton Future Media. Their voice banks have been a great way for many to pass the time while in isolation. And to give something back, the company created a free open source coronavirus notification system, which is currently in use by several regional governments, such as the prefecture of Hokkaido. That's actually really interesting. I didn't notice this part of the article the first time I kind of skimmed through it before recording. So, Krypton Future Media has also been involved in pretty legit COVID related health technology integrations. That's pretty cool, honestly. Yeah, as someone who is literally invulnerable to any coronavirus, novel or otherwise, she's certainly a role model we can all aspire to be. I like this last line. We just have to figure out this coughing thing first, it seems. So this should be fun. I also like kind of some of the recommended articles that come up here. Say I Do with Hatsune Miku Virtual Idol now gracing Japanese marriage certificates. I have to assume this is a COVID thing. Let's click on it. See if it's a COVID thing. Oh no, it wasn't. I assumed because maybe there was less in-person marriage ceremonies people could do that you could do this. But I kind of love that no, that's not even a thing. This is a thing from back in 2016. Actually, do you think I saw a YouTube video about this? About how you can get these marriage certificates that are anime themed, because I heard about the Sailor Moon one, I think. So that's pretty funny. I'm really glad this exists. This is the spirit we really need in America right now. All right. Well, that's our last story for today. I wanted to also let you know a little bit about kind of where I see the anime news roundup going. I would love to eventually make this like a live show. So, something where I'm recording these news stories, but you're sitting, giving me commentary, asking questions. We're doing follow up research, all of that kind of stuff. And then that VOD gets edited and re uploaded either in portions or in entirety to YouTube. But obviously, don't exactly have enough subscribers for that kind of thing right now. So, going to pick up doing these more regularly and go from there. Please type an F in the comments below for our beloved Japanese landmarks that we are losing here later on this month. And let me know what you think Hatsune Miku's job as, now let's make sure we get it right, Corona countermeasure spokesperson will be. Thanks for watching, and peace out.